I told my best friend that I am pregnant, and she made a silly joke about my husband's ability to get me pregnant. He snapped at her. I think he's overreacting because she was just being herself. Now he's upset with me because I didn't defend him. My husband is 31 and I am 30, and we have been married for 3 years. About 4 months ago, we found out that I was pregnant with our first child. We were overjoyed and told most of our family about it early on. My husband didn't want to reveal it to our friends yet, and so I didn't. It was incredibly hard for me, especially because I couldn't tell Julie, 30. Julie and I have been best friends since we were 14. I love her to death, and we tell each other every single thing. But I decided to respect my husband's wishes this time. Julie also moved 3 hours away from us earlier this year, so she doesn't visit as much either. Naturally, over the past month, more and more of our friends have gotten to know about it. But I couldn't find the right time to tell Julie, and my husband didn't insist much either. Yesterday, Julie visited us, and I revealed the pregnancy through a small box that said, "You're an auntie now," with a baby onesie. Now, Julie's a little goofy, which is what I love the most about her. She doesn't care what others think and is just a very entertaining person in general. When she saw the text, she immediately started screaming and then cried and hugged me. It was a very emotional moment for both us. My husband seemed pretty happy about it too, although he's known to not adore Julie's amusing behavior sometimes. She's a huge jokester and loves roasting him. After the reveal, she gave him a huge hug, then a pat on the back and said, "Damn, Mike, didn't know you could do that." This was clearly a joke, and everyone in the room let out a laugh. My husband was not very happy. He responded with, "This is why you were the last one to know about this," in a very passive-aggressive tone. Julie was taken aback and confused. She asked me if that was true, and when I responded with an explanation, she said she was kinda hurt, but was happy for us. The excitement died down in the room after that, and everybody left soon after. I got really mad at my husband for saying that to Julie, but he says that he is tired of her cracking jokes and not taking things seriously. And most of all, he hates that I never take his side. Knowing Julie, she's really just kidding most of the time, and I don't think there's anything to be that offended over. My husband thinks I'm being an asshole here by not defending him. What do y'all think? Am I the asshole? Best comments. I'm assuming your husband has expressed his displeasure at this behavior in the past. It doesn't matter if Julie likes roasting him. If he doesn't also like it, and he clearly doesn't, then it isn't roasting, it's bullying. And like many who have been bullied continuously, he had finally had enough and clapped back. Was it mean? Yes. But so was her bullying. If you don't have the awareness to see how her bullying affects your husband, that's a you problem, and you don't get to blame him when he stands up for himself. He responding by actively trying to hurt Julie's feelings and OP's relations with Julie in his response. He could have responded many ways by saying he didn't appreciate the joke. I think what Julie said was actually really offensive and meant to emasculate him. This wasn't a one-off. They clearly don't have the type of relationship that allows for this type of roasting. Husband had every right to snap back. His reaction was entirely justified. Julie is a bully. I have a feeling this isn't the first time she's joked about their sex life. I bet OP tells Julie everything, and Julie drops the occasional joke that hits OP's husband hard. Is it really a surprise that your husband didn't like a joke about his ability to have children? Imagine if a male friend of OP's husband made a sexist joke about OP's fertility in a similarly condescending way and said this, "I thought you were barren down there." That male friend wouldn't leave the house alive. Update number 1, 2 days after the first post. Soon after I made the original post, I was flooded with lots of comments and judgments. And I genuinely really appreciate them. I'm someone who really believes in self-improvement. So, any sort of help in that regard is greatly appreciated. I'll start by admitting that this entire thing was definitely a massive mistake on my part. I didn't communicate well with neither my husband nor my best friend, which resulted in the conflict. I had an extensive, emotional discussion with my husband about how we're doing. The pregnancy has affected our relationship, and we haven't properly addressed that before. Mike told me that while he appreciates Julie and her caring nature, he's not a fan of her jokes in general and has tried to communicate that with me. While her jokes are rarely about him, he feels like she takes it too far sometimes. I apologized for not understanding his feelings and not addressing his concerns before. I feel like a horrible partner. But we've agreed to go to couples counseling to address our communication issues. Julie and I met up, and I told her that Mike has never liked her jokes, and she needs to read the room. We also discussed my pregnancy, and she said that her joke was never meant to be that deep or be directed at Mike's fertility or anything. She was sorry that she had offended Mike and that he'd felt like she was targeting him because that was never her intention. She also said that she felt kinda hurt only because, as my best friend, she thought she'd be one of the first people to know. But she was really happy for us and thought that Mike was a great guy and didn't want to create any problems for us. She has some childhood trauma that she slides off using her carefree persona. I invited Julie over to our house, and Mike and Julie had a heart-to-heart, honest conversation. Julie apologized to him for making unnecessary jokes and not realizing that he didn't like them. Mike told her that he could have communicated that with her better instead of saying whatever he said. Julie also agreed to maintain her distance from us, which was a tough decision to make, but we all agreed that it would be best for everyone. We only hit a sour spot when Mike told Julie that she had to start taking her life more seriously and focus on finding a boyfriend and getting a real job. Julie respectfully told him that this was none of anybody else's business, and she liked her carefree life. We ate ice cream together and then bid Julie goodbye. I'm not sure when I'll see her again, but for now I'll be focusing on my husband and our baby. I was the asshole here, and I take full responsibility of my actions and will be working towards fixing that. Thanks and have a good day. Best comments. Because obviously she is still trying her hardest to defend her best friend. She went from, "She loves to roast my husband," to, "Her jokes are rarely about him" in the update. This seems to have been a long, ongoing thing that her husband has just put up with for her sake and has had enough. Julie doesn't even live close by anymore, and his immediate reaction was frustration. He definitely held back if that's all he said. That makes sense. She sure has a high opinion of someone her husband finds insufferable. The husband sounds quite judgmental and insecure too. He sounds like someone to overreact and be controlling. The biggest giveaway is when he tells Julie to get a real job and boyfriend. Julie is that single friend that destroys piece by piece a relationship of her friends. She is chronically single, no real responsibilities, and always putting her friends' relationships in trouble. That's why the husband told her that. Julie was making passive-aggressive comments and insults in the guise of jokes. This is a form of abuse. My ex-husband used to do this, and it's not okay.